It's all yours.
Good afternoon, everybody. I know we have a number of our clients getting ready to join us, so I'm going to give maybe just one more minute. We're respectful of your time. I apologize that we were a couple minutes past the top of the hour getting ready to get started here. I'll maybe just talk you through a couple of things before we officially launch. My name is Ryan Hansen. I'm the president of Bon Voyage Travel, and as you can see, I am not in my office. I am actually in my backyard. And we are at Bon Voyage trying to do everything possible to be great civic, responsible parties of our community. And with this COVID-19 situation, we want to have the health and well-being of all of our team members at Bon Voyage as one of our #1 priorities. With that said, the vast majority of our team are working remote. And because of technology and things like Zoom and web cameras and things like this, we can carry on with business as usual. Available to you for questions, comments, concerns about your upcoming trips, your dreams, your plans, but also able to deliver in a unique way some opportunity to show you something very special, and that is Rocky Mountaineer. We are really excited about this opportunity. This is really our first online consumer event, as we would call it. So instead of having you in our offices today, we decided to put this event together because you are most likely sitting at home yourself dreaming about getting out again, and your wanderlust and your excitement for exploring this great world of ours is probably not lost. It's not diminished. It may be growing inside of you even more as the days go by with the current global situation, and we will travel again. We are excited about that opportunity. And with that said, this may be the best chance you can look at for your next vacation is Rocky Mountaineer. So without further ado, we know a lot about Rocky Mountaineer. We have a great partner in Rocky Mountaineer, a good friend of ours named Danny Becker, who is going to be joining us from out of state. I'll let him introduce himself a little bit further, but without further ado, our great friend in the industry, our partner with Rocky Mountaineer, here to deliver all the details and excitement about this great product, Danny Becker.
Thank you, Ryan and Catherine, and thank you everybody at Bon Voyage. You know, Bon Voyage is such a great partner for us, and all of our supplier partner friends just appreciate you guys so much. And if you're if you are a Bon Voyage client on this call, which most of you are, then I hope you appreciate them. They're very, very special, and we just can't say that enough. And Ryan and everybody at Bon Voyage, I can't wait to see you guys again. Last time I came in, I brought nothing but cakes. I don't know what I'm going to bring in next time, but I know I won't high five anybody. I'll just or I won't hug anybody. I'll just give a sanitized high five or an elbow bump or something like that. So just a little housekeeping before we get started. I have disengaged the chat function on Zoom here for just a couple of reasons. Number one, there's going to be over 100. Right now, there's about 75 people on the call, it looks like. But I think as we get going here, there will be over 100. And so the numbers just don't support a chat. But I'm going to leave the Q&A part open here. And please type in your questions, and we will answer them collectively after the call. And if it's something that's not related to Rocky Mountaineer, I'll pass it along to Catherine and her team at Bon Voyage for them to answer. So as Ryan mentioned, my name is Danny Becker. I've been with Rocky Mountaineer now for about 4 years, a little bit over 4 years. I've been in the industry though for 30 plus years, 32, 33 years now. And I'm privileged to sell this amazing product, this amazing company. It's a very family-oriented company, very employee-oriented organization, and most importantly, a very guest-oriented travel experience. And we, as you can see here, have been in business 30 years. And what a year, you know, to have your, what an anniversary to have this COVID thing happen. But we're a very healthy, financially healthy company. And we look forward to welcoming you to our train cars and to the Canadian Rockies with open arms. So with that said, there are some changes in our terms and conditions that are really exciting, and I will emphasize that they are temporary. Let me go to the next slide here. There we go. So this, I'm going to go bullet by bullet here. The first bullet says Rocky Mountaineer has suspended our season for the first 2 weeks of our season from April 13th through May 1st. And if you happen to be one of those clients that's on one of these suspended departures for 2020, we're giving you a voucher or a credit, if you will, and up to 110, or it will be 110% of what monies you have down so far. And then you can choose a trip anytime in 2020, later in 2020, or 2021, or 2022. So the second bullet, if you are currently booked on Rocky Mountaineer on one of the non-suspended departures this year for 2020 again, or 2021 date, 100% of the funds we will move to your new departure, and no penalties whatsoever. So that's for if you're already booked on Rocky Mountaineer. Now the third bullet, if you're not currently booked on a Rocky Mountaineer trip for 2020, however, you were thinking about it, thinking about traveling with us later this season, you can book now with no deposit required and make your decision as to whether to travel or not at 30 days. So essentially you get a freebie here until 30 days out. I would say 31 to be safe. Just make it 31 days and contact your Bon Voyage agent. And then you can let us know at that time through your agent whether you want to travel in 2020. Now, lastly, at the bottom here for 2021, if you're interested in booking a trip next year, our 2021 departures are in our system now, and the promo is in there too. And I'll go over the promotional or the promo with you here in a few minutes. But you can book that anytime in 2021 right now, and you don't have to put any money down at all until November 6th of this year. So essentially, again, it's a freebie until November 6th. So the thing I want to emphasize here is that this could change at any time. You know, today was a fantastic day on the market. I think there's a lot of positive news coming out there about COVID, and we could change these at any time. They're temporary T's and C's. So even if you think you might want to make a Rocky Mountaineer booking for this year or next year, go ahead and book it. And again, you don't have to put any money down for quite a while. So hope that makes sense. And just wanted to give you a little bit of an update on what we're doing there. So this next slide is actually not a slide at all. It's a video. It's our 2019 TV ad. And I thought you'd enjoy seeing this, and hopefully it'll make us all want to go to the Rockies when things calm down. So here you go. It's about 20 seconds long.
There are moments in life that leave a lasting impression, like the feeling of movement as a new journey begins, or the sight of soft fur warmed by the morning sun. You might remember new flavors, the sound of an old friend's laugh, or a view that defies all expectations. These are the memories that stay with you long after the moments have passed. Rocky Mountaineer, all aboard amazing.
Isn't that pretty? So why Rocky Mountaineer? For those of you that may be new to the experience, when we talk about Rocky Mountaineer, we talk about a lot of things, but we really focus on about 5 or 6 key attributes of the Rocky Mountaineer luxury rail experience. First of all, let me say, as you probably know already, we're not about transportation. We're about allowing you to see the Canadian Rockies and experience the Rockies in luxury. We're a luxury vacation experience. So like I said, we focus on just a few things. The first being an all-domed, state-of-the-art fleet of rail cars. This is one of our brand new 3.0 gold leaf cars. And it basically 3.0 just means third generation. We just took delivery of our 10th out of 10 of these brand new gold leaf cars. They're $10 million a piece. That's quite a high-end RV, right? So and we're really proud of them. They have some stunning new technology in them. For instance, that window that you see there, if you look close enough, you can see a kind of a shaded portion from the middle of the window on up. That's a new technology for glass that our host can actually brighten or dim the amount of sunblock coming through the top part of those new gold leaf domes. And so that's just a little bit of information about those new cars. They're built by a company called Stadler in Germany, and we're just really proud to have them all in our fleet this season. The next thing we focus on is our gourmet cuisine. We have Michelin trained chefs in every gold leaf car, and our executive chefs, we have 2 of them. There's usually at least 1 on each train. They're constantly going back and forth between the gold leaf kitchens, kind of like hovering chefs always do. And they're just making sure that everything is done perfectly. So it is stunning cuisine. And we hope you'll get to travel with us this year or next and experience that. It's quite surreal traveling through the Rockies and dining on a gourmet meal like this. So the next slide here, our hotel partners. We, as you probably know, most of you probably know, we don't sleep on the train. We don't have you sleep on the train. We are a daytime train experience, and we put you up in nice hotels every night. That happens to be one of them right there. That's the famous Fairmont Banff Springs, probably the most famous hotel in all of Western Canada, in fact, all of Canada. And we're Fairmont's #1 customer worldwide, just from the inventory that we use in the Canadian Rockies and in Vancouver and Calgary. So the next thing we focus on is our 3 stunning seasons. Our season is normally from mid-April through mid-October. As I mentioned earlier, it's shortened by a couple of weeks this year. We hope it won't be more than that. We'll see here pretty soon, I think, whether we do have to suspend another week or 2, but we're fully ready to serve you all when the borders are open. So, and then when it's deemed safe out there, of course. So, but the 3 stunning seasons, you can see to the left, that is Lake Louise while still frozen. It's not uncommon for Lake Louise to still be frozen up until early June. And so, but the great thing about the springtime departures is that you see a lot of animals typically, and a lot of the rivers are rushing because they're starting to thaw out, and it's just a great time to go. The bulk of our season, though, is that middle picture. You see the larger picture there. It's larger for a reason, because that is our the biggest part, the June, July, August, mid to mid-September time frame. And then finally, my favorite is the far right, the fall time frame, the late September to mid-October. And you can get some fall foliage. There's sometimes snow on the mountains. Lake Louise and Banff are far less crowded. And so that's my favorite time to go there. And then customized journeys. I'll talk about customized journeys when we get to the route map in just a minute, but I wanted to point this picture out. I use this a lot in my presentations because it is such a dreamy picture. These ladies looking at the bridge they just crossed over. This is obviously the last car on one of our trains. We typically try to make it a gold leaf car, and all of our gold leaf cars have this exclusive outdoor viewing platform. It's covered, it's protected, and it's just a great place to go out and enjoy the mountain air, to meet people, to take your drink out there, and you can go out there anytime you want. And most people, I'll tell you, what I've noticed is they tend to go out there transitioning to or from a meal. So, but we'll talk about how we customize journeys here in just a moment. And then world-class service. Rocky Mountain, you can have all the great domed cars and all the beautiful scenery and wonderful food and all the animals and all of that, but unless you have world-class service, something's missing, right? We've won a lot of awards for this service. In fact, last year we had a Net Promoter Score, which is a marketing term some of you may not be familiar with. NPS, or Net Promoter Score, is a gauge of how likely people are to recommend Rocky Mountaineer to their friends and family. And we scored 81, which is not only one of the highest in the travel industry, but one of the highest in any industry. It was an 81, like I said, and we're really, really proud of that. So you can recommend your friends and family to Rocky Mountaineer with a lot of confidence. And then finally, life-changing experiences. You know, we hear that a lot from our guests. A lot of companies throw that out there, but we hear it a lot from our guests, and we see it on their comment cards. So we've kind of adopted this saying, we're purveyors of life-changing experiences. So we're really proud of that. And let me back this up 1 second and set this up. This next slide also is not a slide, it's a video. And it's one of our collaborative BBC videos. So I hope the video is coming in loud and clear for you guys. But we've done several of these, and they're just, I think they're phenomenal. And this gentleman we brought on the train, I think it was late in the season in 2018, I believe. But he's an artist, and I just love the way he positions and discusses his experience on Rocky Mountaineer. So I'll see if you agree. Here it is.
I grew up wanting to capture the memories that I saw around me, wanting to be that guy, the guy that created the image that went with the narrative. I try to capture the essence of an experience because I don't want it to fade in my memory. I grew up in a Midwestern rail town with the sound of trains rolling by at night, sounds of their whistles. Those have always been magical sounds for me. I've traveled and painted all over the world. I've never been to the Canadian Rockies. And from the very beginning, from rolling out of Vancouver, every minute, every direction I looked, it is a pain. The thing that struck me most visually about the whole journey was the transitions between temperate rainforests in Vancouver to a semi-arid experience rolling into Kamloops. And then climbing into the Rockies, suddenly the plants changed, the gradients of the river changed. From the moment I stepped on, I couldn't believe the totality of the experience. It was visual, it was sensory in every aspect, from the food, the conversations, the sounds, like being surrounded by family. It's mind-blowing to have that perception of life, but then to get off Rocky Mountaineer and find out that getting there is just as good as the going. To actually walk into those vistas and have your feet on the ground and to breathe the air and feel the wind, the coolness of the wind off the snow is a priceless gift. The details of the journey on Rocky Mountaineer that will remain with me are those of looking at the track that we've just traveled on as we move away from the life I knew before the experience towards the life that I know now. Looking up the track and knowing that I'm on that train. I'm actually part of it. It's not just a train in the distance, but I'm connected. It's sort of an elemental experience, which I think all good art should be.
Isn't that beautiful? There's another one of these videos at the end. If we have time, I'll show that one as well. But here's our route map. And this is in the inside cover of all of our brochures. And you can see there are 3 primary routes. The red route is probably our most popular route and definitely our oldest route. It's called First Passage to the West. Also sharing Kamloops in the middle is Journey Through the Clouds. And both of those routes, each of the days there are 10-hour days, approximately. And then the far northern route that actually departs out of a different station called our North Vancouver station. That is called Rainforest to Gold Rush. And that is about a 2.5 to 3 day route. That's about a 4.5 to 5 hour trip up to Whistler. Then 12-hour days from Whistler to Quesnel, and then another 12-hour day from Quesnel to Jasper. And that green dotted line that you see there, that is called the Icefields Parkway Tour, and you'll see some of the pictures of that in just a minute. But we're customizable. Like I said, these routes are the core of our packages. And if you look in the brochure I sent to you all earlier today, the e-brochure, you'll see a number of different packages in there. And so these routes are the core. And you can take Rocky Mountaineer either eastbound or westbound, eastbound out of Vancouver, obviously, or westbound out of Banff. And if you do that, westbound out of Banff, then of course you'll do your Rockies stays, your hotels and all of that touring in the Rockies via motor coach. You'll do that at the beginning of your trip rather than the end if you're doing it eastbound out of Vancouver. So I hope that makes sense. And then just continuing on here, some of the hotel partners. These are some of our Gold Leaf hotel partners. The top left is the Chateau Lake Louise. And that's a very different picture than what you normally see. That's actually looking from the other side of the lake towards the hotel. Usually you see pictures that are looking from behind the hotel at the lake itself. And so that's a very different shot, but a very, very beautiful shot, I think. And then the hotel right next to that is the La Germain in Calgary. And then bottom left is the famous Fairmont Jasper Park Lodge. Bottom center is, of course, the Fairmont Banff Springs. There's another great hotel there that I don't have a picture of here, but it's called the Rimrock. It's a great Gold Leaf partner. And then I believe that far right bottom picture is an interior shot at Four Seasons Whistler. So that's just a few, not all, by any means, not all of our partners, but just a few of our Gold Leaf hotel partners. So we package in the hotels, we package in the sightseeing tours. Here's Brewster is our partner in the Rockies. They're fantastic. Their drivers actually are very funny, very engaging. They double as drivers and tour guides, and they do a fantastic job. And their motor coaches are all new 52 passenger motor coaches that are really more like high-end RVs, if anything. So, and then here is one of the, I mentioned this earlier, the Ice Explorer, the big low-geared vehicle that Brewster also owns, and they take our guests up to the glacier, the Athabasca Glacier, and it's a beautiful scenic trip to and from the glacier as well. And so that's what I call a super excursion. If you're going to go on Rocky Mountaineer and go to the Canadian Rockies, you don't want to miss that. That's pretty special. And then below are some shots of some other excursions that we do. The middle one, of course, is the Bouchard Gardens in Victoria, and we can add that to any trip, beginning or ending, in Vancouver. So here's one of our packages. This is probably our one of our most popular packages. This one and its sister package is called First Passage to the West at Leisure. This one is called Highlights. So if you're doing a one-way, I would highly recommend doing the at Leisure. And the only difference is the at Leisure comes normally with one night in Vancouver instead of two. The one night included there in Kamloops, and then 2 nights each in Banff and Lake Louise, and 1 night in Calgary. So that's a 7-night, 8-day trip, and that makes it eligible for most of our promotions. So that's the one I always recommend if somebody is looking for, to do a one-way. But what we've discovered though is a lot of people, they'll do a one-way and they'll come back and say, oh man, we loved it. It was fantastic. But we really wish we would have had more time on the train, because if you noticed on that previous slide, there's only 2 days or 2 days on the train on that particular itinerary. And with this one that you see here, we call them circle journeys. This is called the Golden Circle via Whistler. This is an 11-night, 12-day trip. My favorite is actually the sister package to this one, and it is called the Grand Rail Circle. So you get almost 5 full days on the train. So if you're a train buff, you really like the idea of more train time and seeing that entire area, then I would highly recommend one of our circle journeys, like the Grand Rail Circle. So let me set this one up too. This next one is a quick little video of our first departure of 2018. It's only about 20 seconds, and I think you'll enjoy it.
Welcome to the first departure of 2018.
I love showing that video because, well, for several reasons. You know, some people have in their mind boarding the Rocky Mountaineer, or any train for that matter, in a greasy industrial train station or platform, right? As you can tell, nothing is further from the truth. That is our station. We own it. We bought it several years ago. It is a very, very beautiful facility. The whole boarding process goes very quickly, and it's very festive, as you can see from all of the uniformed Rocky Mountaineer employees waving the train goodbye. It happened to be raining that day. Imagine that, rain in April in Vancouver, but that happens at times. But I just wanted you to see that because it just shows how festive it is. At any given time, there's a pianist there and playing, or a harpist, or what was the other one, a bagpipist, and we do a traditional on all aboard call as well, as you could tell. So anyway, I just thought I would show you that quickly. And just a quick message about Alaska. You know, on a typical year, up to 40% of our guests are doing Rocky Mountaineer worldwide, or worldwide guests. We source our guests from all over the world, but up to 40% are doing Rocky Mountaineer pre or post an Alaska cruise. Now, we know for obvious reasons this year is different. Canada has, thus far anyway, has suspended any cruises out of their ports until July 1st. I don't know if that's really firm, or if that's, could be amended, but I just wanted to show you this because keep that in mind as a possibility. A lot of people kind of see this as a great opportunity to sort of kill two birds with one stone, so to speak, and do Rocky Mountaineer and an Alaska cruise, and you get to see the beautiful interior of Western Canada and the incredible Inside Passage as well. So the next, I won't go through all of these. We're really proud of all these awards, but I think probably most proud of that Travel Weekly Reader's Choice Awards, our Best Rail Vacation. We've won that now about 11 or 12 times in our 30-year existence, and we're really, really proud of that. And and that's our travel agent partners voting on us, like I said. So just wanted to throw that out. And again, I mentioned earlier the Net Promoter Score. Don't forget about that too. That's something we're awfully proud of as well. So just a little bit about our two classes of service. This is a shot of the interior of one of our Silverleaf cars. You know, we used to have a service called Red Leaf, and Red Leaf was sort of our version of coach on an airline, if you will. And the windows were not nearly as big as you see there. There was a box lunch. The seats weren't as comfortable. We realized if we're going to call ourselves a luxury rail experience, that we had to bring this quality of this Silverleaf experience up to the level, or closer to the level of Gold Leaf. So we did that. We put $5 million into each of these former Red Leaf cars, and they're literally brand new cars from the tracks up, basically. And you have this great Silverleaf experience. All your meals, snacks, and drinks and everything are served at your seat, kind of like first class on an airline. And these Silverleaf cars hold 56 guests, and most of the seats swivel like they do in Gold Leaf as well. So if you have two couples traveling together, you can, one side can swivel and you can enjoy the scenery and the meals together. So that's a little bit about Silverleaf. And there's a shot of the Silverleaf and Gold Leaf, top and bottom there. Bottom obviously is Silverleaf. And by the way, everything is included on the train. You will want for nothing on the train. The only thing that's not included is gratuities, and you can pay those on the last day of your train experience, and you can pay them in cash, or you can pay them in credit card, and there's no we're not pushy about that at all. We want you to give what you genuinely feel like giving, and these people really work hard, and I think you'll want to give because they do such a great job. But let's go on to Gold Leaf here. Here's two of our Gold Leaf cars together, and the height of those cars is actually an advantage too. Going down the tracks, you're most often looking over the trees rather than at the trees sometimes, and you can see the two outdoor viewing platforms on those two Gold Leaf cars. And the way we do our dining, and typically that's breakfast and lunch, but the way that we do our dining on Gold Leaf is we'll have two seatings, kind of like the way cruising used to be, and I guess still is with some lines. But as soon as you board, the host will make an announcement as to which half of the car is going down first. they'll do a hot towel service, and then they'll announce a first seating breakfast, and then you'll switch about an hour and 15 minutes later, and it is well worth waiting for. So that's just and by the way, those gold leaf cars, again, they hold 68, and there's a beautiful shot of the interior upper level the gold leaf cars, and there is the way that you get to and from the top and bottom levels is there's a small spiral staircase, or there's a small lift on board too, so for anybody that might be a little bit mobility challenged, or really anybody at all. The hosts are quite comfortable using it anytime for anybody. So that's how you do that. And here's a shot of our downstairs gold leaf dining area. And while the gold leaf upstairs, the passenger area there are assigned seats up there. Downstairs, it's not until you go down for breakfast or lunch that the host will ask you how many in your party, and then they'll seat you accordingly. So that's how that works. And there's a shot of some of the incredible cuisine there, and believe me, the taste really matches the presentation for sure. So this next slide again is not a slide, it's a video, and it's a really cute video called Speechless, and I think you'll get it here in a second. And when I do live presentations, this always brings a chuckle, so no pressure, but I can't hear you anyway. So, and then there's another quick video after that. So here is Speechless.
Okay, describe to me the experience of the Rocky Mountaineer.
Gosh.
It's hard to describe the feeling aboard Canada's Rocky Mountaineer. Experience it for yourself. Visit RockyMountaineer.com.
And yes, that bridge you saw towards the end there is a bridge we actually go over on the first passage to the west route. And if you don't think you pay attention going over that bridge, I assure you, you do. So this next one is actually another of our ads that we made on that trip, and we actually found some people that really wanted to talk to us. And here's what they had to say.
Magnificent.
Fabulous. Picturesque.
Spectacular. It's magical.
You can't describe it in one word.
We'd heard about the Rocky Mountaineer. All we knew it was one of the iconic trips to do in the world. We climbed aboard, and it's lived up to our expectations the whole way.
The colours are just so vibrant. It really does look like it does in the brochures. It's amazing.
The highlight, I think, was a bear sighting.
Always wanted to see it there. We saw the grizzly.
The scenery was amazing, but for me, I loved the people that we met. We made new friends from all over. The landscape's great. It's also a great opportunity that you get a chance to talk with each other.
The staff have been amazing.
They offer the best service of any tour company in Canada.
The gold leaf service has just been exceptional.
The food's incredible. That's the most lovely meal I've had for a long time. That's why I keep coming back. The service is perfect.
I wouldn't have missed this for the world, actually, this trip.
We had heard that probably the most beautiful trip we could take was on the Rocky Mountaineer, and it's true.
You know, we have service videos, silver leaf and gold leaf service videos, but I like showing this one because it has these great testimonials in it, and it does show a lot of great footage on our gold leaf experience. So what's new for 2020? Well, the main thing, and it's actually not brand new, we've actually been doing these to some extent for the last year or so, but we're doing these self-drive options, and actually they're quite timely for now, given this COVID virus and all that's going on. And this is one of the properties we use. There are about 4 or 5 of these new self-drive packages, and this is one of the new properties, or actually renovated properties. It's a Marriott Autograph Collection property called the Pomeroy Mountain Lodge. They went through about either 20 or $40 million. I know that's a big difference there, but a renovation a couple of years ago, and we had a meeting there 2 years ago, and it's stunning. It's got an 18-hole golf course, and it's out in the middle of the nowhere between Banff and Calgary. Beautiful experience, beautiful property. And here's the itinerary for that particular package. You can see that has, if you're going eastbound, that has one night there in Vancouver. You can always add another one if you want. One night included there that we always include in Kamloops. And then one night in Lake Louise, 2 nights at the Pomeroy Mountain Lodge in Kananaskis, and 1 night to end the trip in Calgary. And we have the car waiting for you in Banff, and you use that as your transportation the rest of the trip. And there, like I said, there's several new packages that we do that. They're just different properties. Like one is the Canmore, the Malcolm Hotel in Canmore, pardon me. And so you, like I said, you pick up your car very near the train station there in Banff, and you use that as your transportation. And there's something called the Gypsy Guide that you can download before you go onto your smartphone, and it will talk to you. You turn it on while you're in the Rockies in this portion of your trip, and I guess you could do it in all of the trip, even on the train. But you turn it on, and it talks to you. It gives you information about the area that you're traveling through and just about to travel through, and it's really pretty neat. So it's called Gypsy Guide. So you can go to gypsyguide.com. And again, I think this is timely because more and more people are probably going to want to do self-drives to the Rockies. So I skipped that. So next is our current promotion is called 2 with a View. And it's a free, the only caveat to this is it has to be a 7-night, 8-day trip or longer. And there are a few blackout dates, but not very many at this point. And you'll get the free hotel night and the 1 free transfer. And that's been extended until March 27th, as you can see in the top left corner. That I cannot extend, but, and let me go back to that one in just a second. But this one is the Bon Voyage Travel is exclusive for Bon Voyage Travel and Signature. And it's an additional perk in the form of a free dinner at one of our Canadian Rockies hotels, at one of your Canadian Rockies hotels in your package. And again, it has to be a 7-night, 8-day trip, but it's well worth it. It's a beautiful dinner, and so we hope that. And that, by the way, goes until I don't know if you can see it there. Oh, I forgot to change this. It goes until the end of April, April 30th. It says March 31st at the bottom, but this has been extended to April 30th. So let me back up a couple of slides and just tell you, after 2 with a View expires on March 27th, then the 1 more night promotion will kick in, and that will expire June 26th. And that's again for 2020 departures. And then for next year, for 2021, our promotion was called, last year it was called Unforgettable 4, but we're renaming it. It's going to be called All Aboard. I think a timely name there. And so that will go, it's in effect now for any bookings made now through August 28th. So keep that in mind. And again, it's not, I just put this Unforgettable 4 slide in there to kind of show you that it is 4 perks, 2 hotel nights, 1 on either end, 1 free transfer, and 1 free dinner. So keep that in mind. And let me go back to where I was here. Let me set this up. This is our final slide and final video, and then I'll just say a couple of words and let you all go. But this is one of our other videos, or it's about a 2-minute collaborative video with BBC, and I think you'll enjoy this one as well. This is a famous famous author and and movie producer by the name of Penelope Safiris. And I think she is, like the other guy, very, very eloquent in what she says.
I think travel is, for most people, an escape. My mother actually was an incredible adventurer. She took off from Kansas, just like Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, and joined a carnival. I learned a lot from that. I can be free. I can go and do whatever I want. I've done a lot of traveling in my life, but it's mostly been for work. So I haven't taken the time to really appreciate the real meaning of travel. When you go on a journey like with Rocky Mountaineer, there's just so many different personalities to this trip, and you don't want to take your eye off the window because you're going to miss something. You can walk on this outside viewing platform. It's an amazing experience because you can hear the world going on around you, and you can get the fresh forest smells. And standing out there, I felt liberated. To get out and explore the world by train, it's not people's first choice, but it should be. It is unique, it is relaxing, it is romantic, and it is something you won't forget. You know, it's an indelible memory. Canada is a wealth of beauty, and I think Rocky Mountaineer is a way to experience that. This is the ultimate extreme comfort and luxury. It's really dreamy. It really is like a dream come true. By being on that train, I actually came to a point where I enjoyed being in the now, and I kind of refound myself. I really did. It's beyond Rocky Mountaineer. It's an experience of a lifetime, and it's something that you can't get anywhere else.
So I want to thank you all for joining us tonight, and I want to apologize about going a little bit long here. We had some technical difficulties at the very beginning, and I finally got them straight, and hopefully you were able to see everything here and all the beautiful videos. And thanks again to my partners at Bon Voyage Travel. I look forward to seeing you all again. And for those of you that are thinking about going on Rocky Mountaineer, like I said earlier, we look forward to welcoming you on board our train and to the Rockies this summer. And by the way, our train cars, because we don't travel year round, they have been quarantined for since the end of our season last October. So they will be clean. We will be implementing some really stringent cleaning protocols on our train cars. And I know the Canadian Rockies hotels are going to be doing that too. So again, we look forward to welcoming you on board Rocky Mountaineer this coming season. Thank you all. And if you have questions, I'm going to leave the webinar going for a few more minutes. Go ahead and type them into the Q&A section, and I will send them over to Bon Voyage, and we'll answer any questions you might have. Thank you again, and look forward to seeing you all soon. Bye-bye.